All right, we're here. Is your mic on? Is this thing on?
Oh, it's on. It's on.
It wasn't on last time. I
Adulting.
started a show an hour ago and the mic wasn't even on. I was working with a person who wasn't even in this company. And he looked at me like, what did I sign up for? You, on the other hand, would expect that I wouldn't be ready to go, just like I would expect you are ready to go. And if your mic wasn't working, I'd be like, well, something's up. That's Eric Lindquist, not Eric Lindquist. I'm Eitan Shander at Shander Bets. We got a lot to get to today. Free picks are up and running. All right. I see Mike's in the house. 106.93. We've got a lot, you and I, to do today. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I mean, we just got off a call. It was lovely. Lovely stuff. Overall, feeling pretty darn good. Feeling pretty darn good about this slate. Tons of MLB to get to. We have a Tariq Skubal discount that you just have to use. This is 5.5 strikeouts. You're just using this. So let me pull this up here as we're talking through it. There's also, I think there was a Caitlin Clark free square that I saw come across my timeline as well.
Ooh, I like
can only get $5 on any of this stuff anymore, which is just so tilting. But yeah, there's the free square. Caitlin Clark, she's still there. And then in the MLB streets, Tariq Skubal. That's 17 minutes. We have 17 minutes to get this play down. We best do that, my friend.
That's it? Taco Tuesday ends at a certain time?
Yeah, it does. Well, there's just a new taco that will show up.
So once the new taco pops, the old taco's out.
Yeah, it's creepy when you say it like that to some extent, because there's like certain things that you could infer with that. But yes, that is correct.
Do I need to say no Diddy or some shit before that or after that now? Like...
I've seen so much no Diddy stuff today for no reason. I'm like, oh yeah, no Diddy. I'm like, what is going on? It's like a new thing everybody wants to throw out today. It's also, Aaron Judge is like not even available in the home. Oh, there he is. Okay. I was gonna say, because putting Tariq Skubal with Aaron Judge, that's just the easiest way to do this, right?
It is. All right. So we're going to get to a couple of free plays coming up. We see a lot of the folks are popping in right now. Good to see you, Guy. Of course, Brock Newsom. News extraordinaire is in the house. It's Stinger Tuesday. So we'll get to Just Lucky and a couple of other people coming up here, but we need a home run play. All right. I got one already lined up. I used one boost on one guy. I know a lot of people are expecting some wild 3-leg, 4-leg parlay, but what is your number one home run today on FanDuel that we can use our 50% daily dinger on?
Yeah, so we ended up,
whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah, I want to point people to the fact that we've been doing daily dingers as a company here lately. We've been doing the awesome recap. Now, Greg ruined the model today with Aaron Judge. I just want to punch him. Like, I just want to punch him. What are we doing here? I guess he got closing line value and wants to like let everybody know from the rooftop. But Alec Burleson is plus 470 over at FanDuel. I think he's plus 460 now. That's still good enough for me. Alec Burleson just continues to pop for me, continues to be somebody, and I really haven't even bet him until today, which is really tilting because I think I've thrown him out as a lean on my show like 48 times where I'm like, this guy's batted barrel numbers, and then the launch angle, 16.5 degrees now, and he never strikes out, 13-degree K rate. Like, everything about him is fantastic. And Jameson Taillon, 19.4% K rate, has a higher swinging strike rate than somebody who has only a 19.5% K rate. So it is important that he's just making contact, and it's going high, and it's going far, and it's humid as F in St. Louis today.
Yeah, I love that too. I mean, Taillon has just been getting absolutely pelted, and you just can look at a couple of different guys. I went with Arenado today, and I don't know if you can go wrong, right? Like, you've got Arenado, Nuke Bar, as my friends, friend, John Hyslop calls him, Wilson Contreras, Alec Burleson. Right, like he's giving up home runs on the left side of the plate despite getting just destroyed on the right side. For a guy that has a 2.43 home run per 9, expecting him to go maybe 4 innings? Yeah, how is this not the biggest punching bag target on the board tonight?
It is. He's the guy to target. And Jameson Taillon hasn't been bad this year. I don't want to say
he's giving up jacks, bad, right?
But 10.3% barrel percentage with a 20-degree launch angle in humidity. I know the barometric pressure is a little bit lower than you might want to see here for somebody like me, who that's kind of what I love to nerd out on, is just truly looking at weather and seeing whether it's encapsulated by the line or whether it's not encapsulated by the line, because books can look at weather too. They're aware of humidity and temperature and barometric pressure, but what they're not always aware of is what's going on when it's barrel on barrel and how often those barrels are going to occur. So barrel per plate attempt, that's a big thing over on Baseball Savant as well. I've found so many times that there's just not a high correlation between where the line's set and where that
Yeah.
number is showing up. And as such, when you see my home run plays, that's generally, I'm not going to just give away the entire sauce because
No,
there's a
you shouldn't. Right.
single sweet spot, things that I really, really like and putting it all together. But Jameson Tyon allows pulls, and Alec Burleson going to pull the ball. We'll put it that way.
So I took Brandon Nimmo on the boost. I got him 720, and he was around 440 or so. It looks like he's somewhere in that range now, but just apply the boost with him. Again, if you want to ride Juan Soto for what would be the third, I think, straight game at least, or maybe it's 3 of 4, that's fine. I did look at Lindor just knowing that I could get him on the left side there with Strider, but Nimmo was the guy that popped. There was something else too I was looking at just as far as like where Strider has been victimized. It's a small sample size, so I'm not looking at this across the board, but I did see, Nimmo has been able to hit the changeup really well. And when you have a hard thrower and an off-speed pitch like that, as far as a release or maybe even a getaway, to be able to hit that really well consistently. So I took Nimmo and then boosted his ass to plus, I think it was either 720 or 710. But a lot of people are going to be betting home runs tonight after they saw all of these massive home run lottos hit. I wouldn't be shocked if it's a quiet night.
Chalky. Yes, yesterday was a little bit of an outlier.
Huge.
You don't want to. Yeah, I mean, I hit Julio Rodriguez at plus 500. I think that was the 6th or 7th longest odds homer that was on the board yesterday at BetMGM. I thought that was a little bit interesting because you got everything else inside of plus 500 that basically hit. Like,
right.
You had Judge, you had Cal Raleigh. So we can start with the two biggies. They go yard. Then I think the most frequently bet homer was James Wood. Everybody bet James Wood yesterday. Ketel Marte got bet like crazy. I almost bet Pavin Smith, and the fact that I didn't makes me mad because I did convert with him. But the thing is, the number was plus 800 when he was in Toronto, and he surprisingly batted third there, coming off of being in the 7-hole routinely. Part of that is Corbin Carroll's just hurt, and that's kind of what I said, is I thought there was a chance he was going to get moved up in the order. He did, and now he's going to be batting third, and it was encapsulated by the line, but still had a little bit of meat on the bone at plus 550. But again, there were not a lot of like long shots that hit. And normally that's when people are bitching and moaning on Twitter. It's like, oh, Isaiah Kinder-Falefa plus 1,800 hit a homer and nobody bet him. No kidding. They didn't, because it's very unlikely.
Well, that's the thing, is I don't think there was a winning parlay that did not have Ronald Acuna and Ketel Marte on there. Ketel Marte and Ronald Acuna Jr. were on every single slip.
I don't parlay them. Everybody in my Discord, they love to take them together and parlay and then show me what they've made after the fact. And then I feel like it's like sad. It's like yesterday I made $800, but it's like I could have parlayed some stuff together.
You should
I think I probably should start incorporating some of that, because there are 3 home run parlays where I think if you're just compounding your edge, like if you have edge on one homer and edge on another and you parlay them together, technically you're increasing your edge, right, Eitan? Like that's the way you go about it. But for me, it's just singular entities. It's easier for me to get money down on stuff, and always has been. But maybe we do need to get back to our round robin roots together.
Yeah, it's not a bad one there. I like that. We could take the 2 that we already got. You look around tonight, there are going to be a couple of guys that should pop, right? Like, you probably want to take advantage of Gavin Sheets if you can get him at 5-1 or better, right? So maybe there's an opportunity to run some round robins in here. What about?
We can do a little something.
One more. All right, so we got those 2, right? We got Burleson, we got Nimmo. You want to throw Sheets in there? This will be the home run dinger Tuesday round robin. What do you think?
Holy Sheets? Yeah, we can do Sheets if we want to.
What about?
You just tell me who it is, and I can tell you if I have a positive EV or not.
Abreu.
Oh God, we're
going to really lineup Abreu tonight here.
Let me refresh this. So those are the ones that are always a little bit freaky because you just never know what you're going to get. I don't have him in the lineup. I don't have him in my projected lineup today.
That's fine.
Left on left against Tyler Anderson. No, he's not going to play.
That's fine. Yeah, although he's giving up home runs to lefties. That's why I was trying to judge him in there. But no, that's fine.
It's Tyler Anderson. I think the Angels are an interesting bet. I talked about that yesterday, but I didn't bet it yet purely because I'm hoping. I mean, are we broaching plus 150 yet? Has it gotten close to that? Because I had an alert set up for wanting to potentially jump in if the number gets
144, there. I see on FanDuel. We could probably shop it on
Yeah.
odd shopper, but
See, this is why patience is a virtue. And I've learned this about myself night before. Sometimes it's like, oh, I want to get this play out. And I think it's positive EV right now, but I can wait from now until first pitch. And I doubt I'm losing value betting against Crochet. Like, I'm just not. Like, everybody's going to bet
probably
Crochet
not,
and Palmer.
right?
But Tyler Anderson, I think, is actually set up for success against Austin. And I'm not a Tyler Anderson guy.
Well, if that's the case, then you may not like adding Trevor Story, so that's fine. Somebody on Boston.
Again, I haven't bet it yet. Also, when you're talking about individual entities, batted ball profile, it's not going to change
the outcome of the game.
There,
right?
It might be negatively correlated, where it's like, oh, I have a quarter unit on that, and I have a half unit on that, and I have a full unit on that, and something in that nature. But like, if it's a good bet, it's positive expected value. It's a good bet that's positive expected value. Like, that doesn't change.
All right. So far, these 4 here. What's the round robin? You want to go 4 or 5?
Let's go 5. Let's get free.
So give me one more.
Which one do I want to go to? Max Muncy.
Go St. Louis, Angels, Mets, or Padres. Any other home game outside of that would be fine.
Yeah, let's go Max Muncy. So I look at the Dodgers. This is kind of an interesting one where you get just gas can after gas can coming out here for Colorado. Herman Marquez is kind of at the top of the totem pole for me of guys I want to attack.
Yep.
He just gives up so much hard contact. I mean, 47, he was up at 60% in 2023. 2024, we barely saw him because he was just incapable and hurt and all that stuff. He's only given up 5 home runs in 39 innings to lefties this year. That number, it has to go way up. It just has to. He strikes out nobody. And if you don't strike out Ohtani and Muncy, I mean, it doesn't look as ridiculous in Coors as what it's been the last couple of days, but it still looks pretty ridiculous.
All right, let's go through it. We've got those 5. We'll give those to you before we get out of here because that actually makes the last one here. I can't wait to go through on the Max Muncy, by the way, is 280. Just so you know. Are you prepared for that?
I'm okay with it. Yeah. Well,
okay.
Do you want to bet Ohtani at 180?
No, I don't by any means whatsoever. All right, we got a bunch of free stuff. We just gave you Dinger Tuesday. We just loaded up on solos where you can boost 50%. And
I was going to say, you didn't even say Schwarber. You didn't even say Schwarber left on left against Alvarez.
I know. I haven't looked at that game yet. I am so late on my responsibilities today as both a homeowner and employee. I don't even know.
Say father.
Well, because it's more than just that, right? My wife would say that it's far more than that.
Fair.
Like we started late. I can't even go late today. That's how wild my day is.
It's okay.
Today.
We're picking up time, baby. We got it. We're gonna get people lots of plays.
Let's look. We already gave you our stuff, specifically Lindy. He's the man you want to tail home runs for. But we got a bunch of stuff to look at here on tails as well. All right, here we go. We are reset, ready to go. Big Smokey likes the Mets on the money line. Guardians on the money line. There's Mike. You can find Mike up in Rasa's Discord. That's the Page Buckers, right?
Page Bukers.
Okay.
Minnesota's
Page Buckers. Ariel Atkins. Anything here in baseball? We've got a couple of sides and a run line here. Tigers minus 1.5 from Hefe Picks, throwing that out.
Yep, I'm there. I've already bet it. This one doesn't make sense to me at all. I've got this as positive expected value. I would be pricing this minus 145. I don't understand why we're getting this with Skewball in this spot against an Oakland lineup that ended up rolling out Kurtz in the 3-hole, ends up rolling out Butler in the 6-hole, ends up rolling out Soderstrom in the 8-hole. There's a lot of lefties. Tariq Skewball is not going to get beat up by lefties. Just throwing it out there. I know that they have power and responsibility and what yada, yada, yada. But like, this is just trash. This is just a trash lineup. Austin Wins is batting cleanup, who actually, by the way, you can get on play for over plus 1,200 if you know the
Look at that.
So just throwing it out there. I think that's about the only thing that I'm actually paying attention to in that game. But otherwise, Eitan, just write it off. Detroit minus 1.5 is a slam.
There you go from Hefe Picks. All right, we'll keep going here. I assume you're on his total.
Alec Burleson 1.5 total bases, right. Daddy. Like
at plus money. I mean, my goodness, what are we doing here? Sign me up for that one at plus 115.
Dude looks great right now. I love Alec Burleson. he's made a lot of people a lot of money. If you've just been listening to me fawn over him, you know who hasn't made a lot of money on him? Me, because I haven't bet him. All I do is talk about this guy. But today, I bet him. He was the first bet that I made the entire day. I said, man, enough is enough of tracking this guy and telling everybody else to bet him and then not having coin on him myself. Again, that's the leans, likes, locks thing. And sometimes stuff falls beneath the cracks when you're originating. And Alec Burleson was one of them.
I love it, man. All right, CDR betting on that for sure. Mentioned this here earlier, right? There's the Scooble K's. We also have the Caitlin Clark free square. Is this are these stuff around? What have you? Just lucky picks in the WNBA. Make sure you're following him. He's been hot. Rakia Jackson. Any interest here? Look at this. Jackson's averaging 12.5 points, 3.1 rebounds, 4 of 9 outings. Taking a deeper look, though, it's not just about that. On the road, she's dropping 20 points and rebounds combined. Yeah. And maybe there's a little bit extra when you're away from the home crowd. I don't even know where she plays, so I don't want to disparage a city by any means. But Rakia Jackson, 17.5 over PR on FanDuel.
Los Angeles Sparks. Look at that.
There you go. That's your squad.
I guess I could have just said Los Angeles on the freaking jersey, but why would we be smart like that? I Googled it.
Well, you were there ahead of time. That's why you jumped on that ahead of time. I like this. Chase Burns, 6Ks. Long-time Vegas scout Steven Nover's betting this, I assume, on Circa. Sharp as he is.
I can't do it.
No? Okay, let's talk about it. Why not?
I can't do it. Because I don't want to bet anything Chase Burns in his first outing, because this is going to go one of two ways. Either he's going to clear 5.5 and we're going to all feel really, really stupid, or he's going to get completely shelled and we're going to feel like we knew something and we're happy that we stayed away. Like, I don't know what to make of him. I like his stuff. He was the number 2 pick in the draft last year. Like, he's already up at the big league club, but he had 2 AAA starts and we're already anointing him. He's pitching in Cincy against Judge.
Tough place to pitch. Right.
What are we doing? This is such a hard spot. And I bet Jacob Mizrowski in his first outing strikeouts. I bet him in his second outing over 4.5 strikeouts. I've been early to the party on him. I feel pretty vindicated with him. He is 6'7" and throws at 103 miles per hour. That is a little bit different than what we've got with Chase Burns, who's striking out AA guys on a daily basis.
You remember what his opening line was in his debut? Was it 4.5 or 5.5?
4.5. Oh, yeah. And I jammed it first game. And then I jammed it second game. Both of them.
Was Burns at 4.5 and this has since moved? Or this pretty much
open at 5.5? And it's actually gone. It actually dipped a little bit to 4.5 spots.
Okay.
So it's heavily juiced on that over if you really, really want it. Again, strikeouts, we're not getting dime lines. We're not getting 10 cents both sides. We're going to be getting extra vig. It's just, I don't have any feel for it. I really don't. Do you?
No. I'm inclined. Like, this is probably not going to be a Mick Abel situation.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, this is what I like to call a novelty wager. If you think you know something about Chase Burns, if you are either a member of the Cincinnati, hopefully not a member of, because then you shouldn't be gambling, but you are either a patron of the Cincinnati Reds and you attend the Bell games and you want to back Chase Burns in his first outing, go ahead. If you are a diehard baseball fan who thinks Chase Burns has this electric stuff that cannot be denied at the big league level, go ahead. But I don't have anything to base it on because I don't have all of the pitch mix data that I'm going to get after one outing, and I'm going to know what to do with him next time.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I will say this: Wall Street Bets Vegas.
Yep.
Under 2.5 earned runs. I am invested. I'm interested in this for Rangers.
Yeah, I like that.
Love the over or the under in this game overall.
Yeah, 7.5.
Yeah. I think I can get behind that. I'll look. We'll put something out there.
I'm on the over of 3.5. This is kind of what's interesting about betting in general. He's at -155 for under 4.5. I bet -150 on the over for Eric Lauer, but a very small play, quarter unit play. I think it ended up in like 0.4 or something. This is like when you're projecting these guys out, I think we can both be right about this. I think we both have good tickets. I mean, we're basically not playing any vig there for the most part. Like -150, it's pretty close when you're talking about the projection there. But like, I think it's such an interesting facet of like betting baseball where I think that under 4.5 is definitely the preferred side of that at that price, and over 3.5 is the preferred side on my side.
All right, this is it. We're on the way out. All right, we'll be back. We got a couple of guests lined up Wednesday, Thursday to
Yeah,
get you through here. We'll start talking NFL real soon
can't
as
wait.
well. But you can follow Lindy if you're not already and signed up for the package right there on Tails. Sorry, I'm just trying to get the round robin in here. 14016. All right, so our 5-leg round robin locked in. Brandon Nimmo, Trevor Story, Alec Burleson, Gavin Sheets, Max Muncy. All right. $1 on that parlay is going to win you $4,000, 4,100. All right.
Love.
Anything you want to get out on the way out?
Guys, it's been an awesome MLB run. Obviously, sorry that we were
Insane,
ended up
dude.
a little bit late. You can blame me for that.
Nah, that's
I'm
fine.
generally the one who's a little bit talkier when it comes to some of the calls and things behind the scenes. But obviously, we're trying to get you as much free stuff on this show as possible. Try to give you a look into the Tails marketplace at some of the sharper cappers that we've got in house, and Eitan Shander is one of them. He's in the Lindy Discord for a reason. He's my boy. Give him some love. And obviously, we'll be back Wednesday and Thursday giving you guys live shows. And we'll have baseball live tomorrow. We had a weird slate last week with Wednesday.
Yeah.
Wednesday morning, we're going to have morning baseball to be able to cover and talk about, which I'm always excited to have the sweat element of the show and the element where we're able to talk about the games coming up that night.
Awesome. Appreciate everybody being here. Have a great night. Stay cool wherever you are.